I got a question the other day in my email box, and I actually get this question quite a bit. 2 years ago, I started off on a journey. I was morbidly obese, 161 pounds, heavier than I am today. I topped the scale at 288 pounds. I was in a size 22, 24. I was unhealthy. I had no energy. I wasn't able to go to the fair and ride rides with my kids. I remember being at an amusement park, and we waited in line for one of those coasters, you know, that goes really high. It's like one of the biggest coasters in the park. Waited in line only to get to the top, go to strap myself in, and the attendant came over to help me because I was having problems. After they put everything they could into that, it would not strap. It would not buckle in. So being asked to exit the ride and having to do the walk of shame all the way down. I remember being on airplanes and not being stressed or being worried or hoping that I would be towards the window and praying that I would not be stuck in the middle, because I didn't want to have that feeling of having to sit like this the entire time, or the feeling of spilling over into someone else's seat. I can remember going to the mall with girlfriends, and instead of having the entire mall to shop from, having a couple stores that I got to pick stuff from. There were so many limitations on my 288-pound body that it put on my life, and I did not even realize it. And so one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, was it worth it, and would you do it all again? See, there's this misconception about the way that I did it, which was working out and changing my diet, just eating a little healthier, making some different decisions. I didn't eat diet food, and I certainly didn't start this to never be able to have pizza or chocolate cake or a cheeseburger again, but it was about making some simple decisions with regular food that you can get at any day grocery stores that helped me to lose 161 pounds in 13 months, and has helped me to maintain to go from a size 22, 24 down to a size 2, and to be able to maintain a size 2 for over a year now. And so here's what I will tell you. Not only was it worth it, and not only would I do it all again every single day, I want you to hear me when I say this. There is absolutely nothing, there is nothing about my old life that I would take back. There was no joys that were greater in that old life than the life that I experienced today. There were so many things that came with this journey of losing weight and getting fit. I got to set an example for my kids. I got to set an example of what commitment, dedication, determination, passion, being healthy and living a healthy lifestyle and making healthy decisions. My kids got to witness that. I just didn't tell them about it. I got to show them what that looks like. I got to be, I get to feel sexy when I go on date nights with my husband. You know, I used to have to work really hard to put together outfits that I thought were flattering. There was the layering and the taking off several things to finally stand in front of the mirror and feel good. And of course, we can't forget the Spanx. You know, we wear Spanx under everything to kind of smooth everything out and suck everything in. That's not sexy. Get home from a date and tell my husband, hold on, you know, he can't just rip my clothes off me because I don't want him to see the Spanx. So it's like, okay, hold on, let me go upstairs, get the Spanx off, and now we can finish up date night. So of course there was the dress. There was being limited to what clothes I could buy. And I will tell you, when you are packing for a vacation, my old size 22 clothes take up way more room than my new clothes do. So I can actually pack a lot more in a suitcase than I used to be able to. And I could keep listing so many things. But above all, I know that I'm going to be around on this planet longer to be able to enjoy my kids, enjoy my grandkids. I had the realization one day that you don't see a lot of obese and morbidly obese 60 and 70-year-olds walking around. You just don't. When you look at someone who is mature in age and someone who has aged gracefully and they're around to their 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s, which is where I want to be. I want to live to be at least 100 years old. Most of those people aren't overweight. They have a smaller frame. They are people that are active. They just don't carry a lot of extra weight. Sure, there's exceptions to that rule. However, most importantly, I have stacked the odds in my favor to make it to my goal, which is 100. And as far as the last thing I want to talk to you about, the myth that it is the hard way to work out and watch what you eat. It is actually, there are so many diets that I have tried. There are so many different gimmicky stuff, you know, from buying food to giving yourself a shot. You only eat 500 calories a day. You know, all these different ways to lose weight. This has by far been the easiest, most freedom-giving way that I have ever encountered. It has been the only way that I've been able to lose the weight and maintain it. It has been the only way that I've still been able to enjoy birthday cake and cheeseburgers and candy bars and a diet soda on occasion, without feeling guilty and without it having me jack up my entire plan of maintaining, because there's nothing worse than losing the weight only to gain it all back. So by far, no question, hands down, in this life and any other life you can imagine, it has been totally worth it. And it's been one of the most fulfilling, empowering things that I have ever done with my life. So I hope this helped. I hope this gave you some clarity, some answers. And yeah, hope you're having a great day. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.